Well, good afternoon and welcome to the National Volleyball Centre here in Kettering for the Women's Cup Final. One of the biggest games in UK domestic volleyball. We've just had two amazing games earlier on this morning. For the Men's Shield and the Women's Shield, London Aces and Sheffield Hallam winning those respectively. Two fantastic games. Really means we have a lot for these two teams to live up to. But these are the top two teams in the country. Promises to be a fascinating, fantastic game. Team Northumbria have only lost one game in everything. Absolutely every competition this year, they have only lost the single game. They've only conceded the 6 sets. It is a big task to try and stop them. But if anyone can do it, it's Durham, sitting comfortably in second at the top of the Super 8. And these two teams met just a couple of weeks ago as well in the University League in Bucks. And no surprise, Northumbria won out that time. They were on a roll. Let's see if they can keep that going. So our officials for today's game, Christian Genitirini is going to be climbing up into his seat. And we have Martina Curtis on the other side of the net. Alan Dexter as the reserve. Only moments to go until we get these teams on the courts and the game underway. So here comes the Northumbria team. Look at them, they are well up for this. The energy that we've seen throughout the warm-up has been incredible. She'll need a few teammates though. Can't play the game by herself. I bet she'd try if she could. What a season these girls have been having. Can they win the Shield? The Cup, sorry. Can they win this Cup? It's a strong bench as well. There is depth to this team. All right, so that is Northumbria for the opening lineup. And here comes Team Durham. Captain on the court first as always. Claire Felix should be looking to lead the team to glory in the Cup. So this game is getting away a little bit after advertised. That's only because the games we had earlier on went the distance. Fascinating games. Today so far has been a true advert for volleyball here in England. We're hoping to see more of that continue today. So there are the teams in the huddle getting ready to start this Women's Cup game. And with that, we'll hand over to your commentary team of Beth Gunter and Mark Perkins.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. We are courtside ready for this Cup final match. The top two teams in the UK going head-to-head here a few weeks ago. Team Northumbria victorious against Team Durham in the Bucks competition, but this is a Cup final, anything can happen. Beth joining me courtside here. What's your views on the game then? How do you think this is going to go?
I think it's going to be such a tough game. I mean, they're both sitting towards the top of the Super 8s league at the moment, and any time these two teams, Bologna as well, play against each other, you know it's going to be a good match. I'm thinking probably we might have another 5-setter on the hands, but definitely a 3-1 at least.
So Team Northumbria are going to get us underway in the black, white and red with their captain and setter Vlasic to serve. So float serve down the line. First point there with the reverse attack from the number 12 of Elizabeth Culpepper. Played a few years over in Hawaii, now having a year at Team Durham. Team Durham built up mainly of Americans. She's serving now from the far side in the purple. Again, another line of float serve. Yulia Tokarenko, one of the wing players, along with Andrew Icewick. There'll be the big swings out through 4, but this time look for the little combination plays that they'll throw in, and also just getting over those high hands, that big block of their number 16 captain Claire Felix from Team Durham. Transition time now for Northumbria. They've got 1-on-1 out wide. Icewick this time has the attack, but there's the first call from the referee. Double contact on the set. So referee will be making a couple of signals depending on his judgment on the handling errors, whether he's touched the ball twice or they've held the ball too long.
A very harsh call for the first one.
Ace serve. First ace of the game there for Team Northumbria. You can see a lot of pressure in this arena. Here at the National Volleyball Centre, courts are the opposite way round, so they're playing lengthwise in the sports hall. So slightly shorter court, but another dropping ace serve attempt, but great pickup. This time, they're opposite. Asarita there. The ball slightly behind her head, in a little bit early, not getting the full attack on. So each team in the minute just edging their ways into the game, just trying to feel out the serve pressure in this game. Beth, is going to be really crucial for both teams.
Serving can literally make or break. As we can see, we've already had a couple of aces and they're pushing them close to the line, so we're bound to see a lot of service aces, but with that does come a lot of errors as well, so it'll be tough.
Ricewick with a kill there, just rolling across the tape there. Vlasic just putting a hand up. The set was a bit far off the net for her. She'd already come in. And it's really the tall number 15, Leah Best, on the England seniors. Big floating serve going from 5 to 5. This time Samantha Cash, there, the middle blocker, just reaching over the ball there. Sophie Cisco, another one of the 5 English players on both sides here, competing with the jump float serve.
It's great to see Sophie finally making a starting 6 appearance for a Durham side. She's been there for a couple of years now. I think it's her final year and she's starting for them.
Bruna Bon, the under-17, under-19 Brazilian international there. The ball was drifted wide of the area, so she just didn't have to attack it at all. Just turned and just volleyed that ball nicely across court, catching Team Northumbria out of rotation slightly there. Cisco now with a float serve, forces the quick middle attack. Now opportunity to transition for Northumbria. Goes wide to Ricewick, 1-on-1. Look at the fingertips of the touch. The ball's well long.
We are having some more difficulties with our scoring at the moment, so it is currently 5-4 to Durham, with Sophia Cisco taking back to the service line now.
So a good run of serves here for Team Durham to really put the pressure. You're not going to see many easy serves at this level, especially these two have played each other many times. Big swing there from the back line. Ricewick almost takes out Deb Smart, the lines person on the far side. Evasive action, and I've seen Deb move so quick.
Bit mistimed from that hit there.
This time Ricewick with that pipe attack. First one was going across the 5. She took her hand over the ball there, getting that topspin, just landing in. The Durham defence was sat deep. Still managed to find that gap, ball dropping in, 5-6 to score. A rolling shot over by Cisco. Opportunity now, another backcourt tag and a free net. Claire Felix had moved across with the middle attack. Great drawing by the middle, and then leaves that open backcourt attack. Great setting by Vlasic to see the middle blocker move across as well.
It was great for the middle to be able to pull the other middle blocker away as well. Considering that was the 3rd pipe attack in a row, you'd expect them to be a bit more prepared for that one.
So service error, ball going long. 7-6 the score here. Durham lead by 1 in the first set. Captain and coach Felix on the service line. There's that reverse slide attack. Very popular in the women's game now as well. As a defender, Beth, as a blocker at the net there, how easy is it to read that set coming across and then to get across and block it yourself?
It is so tough, especially for the middle blocker, because they just constantly have to be on their toes for it. But for the outside hitters even, they're sort of having to move a metre and a half for a slide attack, and it's so hard to take enough space away for the blocking team to set up the defence. It is probably one of the better scoring attacks that we've got in the women's game at the moment.
There, Bruna Bond down the line, just shaping the ball outside the block, down to the corner, goes to the first technical timeout. So 8-7, just 1 point in it. We've seen pressure on the service line. We've seen various of attacks with the slide reverse, this backcourt attack as well. But the wing attacks on both teams with Bruna Bond, but also then with Tokarenko and Ricewick are going to be crucial. That's where the main of the distribution is going to be being played in this game.
Yeah, we saw it in the last match as well. It was mainly going towards the wings, but when the middles did get involved, they sort of had 95% hitting percentage. So it is always good to keep the middles in contact. So I'm sure we'll see it as the passing continues to improve, the middles getting involved.
So Durham lined up, ready to go. Team Northumbria with their head coach, Dave Goodchild. A very experienced setup on both sides here. As I said, 5 English players playing across the board. We've got 3 Northumbrians and 2 English players on the Team Durham. The rest are all American. We've got people from UCLA, from Hawaii playing as well, and they're all here on 1 or 2 year contracts, but really raising the level of volleyball here in the UK, especially in the Super 8s and in the Cup games.
Just really quickly, guys, I've been having a little look at the team talks that were going on there. Really interesting to see that Team Durham didn't take all the time to go through the talk. They're very confident and happy with where they are. The message that was coming through on the other team talk was, guys, you know what you're doing. You've done this so many times this year. Just stay steady. Don't get ahead of yourselves. Just let it go.
A very experienced team. Played each other both times in the cup competitions, league competitions as well. Previous point was a great reverse by Cash. Now Northumbria on the defence. That high hands again. Elizabeth Culpepper, Hawaiian, takes us to a 9-8 lead for Team Purple. On the far side, it's Bruna Bond serving. Again, another pressure float serve, dropping short. Vlasic over on 2. That's 1 for the Setters Club. Really delays that left hand coming across. Middle blocker hadn't read it. As soon as she jumps, she will jump set majority of her sets as well. Now that the second ball's come over, that middle blocker's been looking every time Yuri's front court. That
was a very good second attack as well, and it's a very hard skill to master, so did very well for that one, considering she's right-handed as well.
Bruna Bond with another big pipe kill. This time it's gone across to 1. Again, just using that angle across with a setter back court. They'll start to favour that setter position at 1 to take her out of the game as well. Another big kill here for Team Northumbria. Levels the score here at 10-all. Tokarenko, winger, on the service line. Claire Felix there, high reach. It's kind of that B set, that shoot set across.
You can just see her sort of running towards 5 and just turning at the last minute towards 1. So it's a tough ball to defend, that one.
Really interesting battle, the battle of these middles with Leah Best from Team Northumbria and Claire Felix, both at 2 metres or just over 2 metres tall. We've got to read these attacks really well. They do make this net look very, very short when they're in the air.
They do. They are 2 of the taller teams that I've seen from both Northumbria and Durham for the last couple of years as well.
Best there with the service error. We're going to see service errors on both sides because they've got to push and really make these serves work. Any free ball, we've already seen what happens when a free ball comes. It gets given back with interest as well. So Sitska back on the service line for a second run of serves. She had a couple of aces early on, but this one is a service error pushing long. 1 point difference now, 11-12 here in the first set. Astorita then playing opposite in this set. So giving Yuri Vlasic options on the backcourt line as well. Both alongside Tokarenko on the back line. That's a lovely shot to the corner. Bruno Bon again, not necessarily using the power this time, but just shaping that ball nicely. Seeing that gap in the corner. Ace serve for Felix. That high reach we talked about earlier at the net, but also helps. So the ball just dying. Flow serve, very popular here in the game. The ball just dying at 5. And that 2-point lead now, 14-12 to score here. Team Durham leading by 2. Dave Goodchild calling for a timeout. And Claire Felix captaining and coaching the team. We've got assistant coach of Whitney Wild and Ali Kihu. So they'll be providing the insights on the bench there. But while Claire Felix is playing, she's got eyes on the bench helping her out. So thoughts on the levels in this cup final so far, 14-12 in?
I mean, these two teams are completely different to last season's Team Northumbria and Durham that we've seen, but they're both fantastic quality teams. You can see that from the way they're pushing the ball towards the lines. There are errors on either side, but they're good, positive errors, as we like to call them.
So back with the action. Give me Claire Felix again serving. It's her final year here at Team Durham. She's looking for a pro contract somewhere in Europe she'd like to go. But Sam Cash with the white headband there, with that right hand whipping it to the left hand side. Narrows the gap to 1. Ricewick with a serve. Overpass comes up. Good scramble defense by Durham. Opposition now in defence there, and a monster block shut out. Bruno Bon and Sternard shutting out Sam Cash on that reverse. Really got to force those hands over, turn the outside hand in to bring it in.
They did very well to block that one.
This time there's a gap in that block. Sternard not getting right across. Sam Cash going down there. Sternard jumping across, kind of almost a moving block. Yeah. Makes a half of the defence. But yeah, great vision this time by Sam Cash to find that gap.
I think quite a lot of the time we will see a moving block just where the ball is moving so fast and the players just need to react to it.
High and long on the backcourt attack there. Goes to the technical timeout, 2 points in it. 16-14, Durham lead by 2. Seen a few errors on the hit on the back line, but as we know, as we've already seen here, you can't give anything to either of these teams at the net there. But we've also seen the power of this middle attack being drawn out. Yuri Vlasic from Team Northumbria has also used that, but also Claire Felix has been using it well on that reverse attack for Team Durham as well. What is the mentality as they're going into there, Beth, from a player's point of view, on the attacking view there from a setter? What are they saying to themselves?
They really need to sort of spread the play. So as you're going up to set, especially in middle, you can sense the other blocker and what way they're moving. So it's really a game between the setter and the opposition middle blocker to try and catch them out. And as you can see, it goes to wings on a one-on-one. Your success rate's a lot higher. And if you manage to have the middle blocker still moving when it goes across, then the blocking isn't so successful either.
Almost middle blocker and setters, almost cat versus mouse in this game as well. Trying to read this set. Yuri will also jump set most of the sets as well. So the middle blocker's got to look, is she front court, will she tip? Is she going to go for that middle reverse, open up the backcourt option as well? So there we see Yuri just giving her signals out to her team. 2 points in it, 16-14. Big block. Northumbria not able to transition the ball into an attack, giving options for Team Durham. They duly take it. Point run well there by Culpepper. Big block out through 4 as well. You see Sternard moving across again, as I just mentioned. And that forces Dave Goodchild to call for a timeout here. 17-14, so a 3-point lead. Biggest gap in the game so far. Again, more solid defence here being shown by Team Durham.
Yeah, I mean, comparing this game to the last game, we've got a lot of powerful hitting here. Your defence has got to be disciplined and in place. And as we saw there, the sixth player from Northumbria is just still moving across and didn't get her shoulders round it, so shanked that ball off. So defence is going to play a massive role in the success of today's teams and how the match goes.
So defence on the backcourt are waiting for that block to get in position as well. They've got their areas to cover, and if the block's not there, it's a free court, so it's really hard to defend as well. Let's see how the action happens now. It's Brunabon, the Brazilian, serving number 13 with a 3-point lead, 17-14. Another great serve. And this time, Leah Best drawing the block, so Middle did take one step to the right before moving out wide to forward position.
You can see the gap in that block there as well. It's probably about half a metre to a metre, which is just too big at this level of the game.
Yeah, Ricewick exploited that. The block stacked across on the right hand side of the court, so serve expected to go down the line. Find the libero. Opportunity now for Northumbria with that reverse. Sitsko looks high. She's already under that ball with a big block on it. Didn't have any other options. It's going to be taking it behind her head, so having to roll the ball long, and also to get over that big block of Leah Best at this net. It's got to go high. Unfortunately, it didn't drop in time. So 1 point in it, 16-17. Again, a service down the line. Sitsko this time opens up the hands. Sees a slight gap, but just off the fingertips of Asarita. Two points in it now, 18-16. Durham have the advantage. Again, another pressure float serve here. Yuri Vlasic having to work harder on this pass. Is tight to the net. Too tight to the net there. Culpepper taking that ball as a kill block.
You just hung in the air for that one.
Yeah. Asarita playing the first attack through 4 as the setter's backcourt at position 1, and then she'll transition over to position 2. So backcourt setter, 3 options here for Northumbria. And off the hands, it goes just over, and the ball lands before the defence can get it. 2 points gap now, 17-19. Tokarenko, it is serving. One of the most powerful hitters in the league. A few attacks to her name, but no major kills just yet. There we see Culpepper with that reverse attack. Great vision by Whitney Wild over on 2. And now hands off the block this time. It goes Asarita. Already had one attack in the previous point, exactly the same. This time out of play. The gap is now 1 point, 18-19. Tokarenko continuing the service run. One-on-one option. It is for Culpepper. She goes down the line. Liz Dowd, a libero in the red shirt. Heels back, nothing she could do about that attack. 2018. Good pressure on the serve there. But Asarita this time, not going for the power, just seeing that gap in over at corner 1, shaping that ball. A substitution here, Leah Best coming off. Blair Elrich coming on. She'll come on to serve, a serving specialist. Exchange here for Leah Best, pick through the middle. So tactical substitution here. Dave Goodchild giving his signals where he wants Blair to serve. There's 1 point in it, 19-20. Onto the libero, they're moving her in court. There's a big reverse option for Claire Felix. She's shut out once, but good defence by Durham. And then miscommunication there between Cash and Asarita. Gap is back to 2, 21-19. Sitsko with a third serving run, so third rotation on that service line. Exchange of quick attacks, and again a big one. Cash having to reach out with the left hand this time. Again another tip. Vlasic over now. Opportunity. Claire Felix is moving for that reverse. It's one-on-one out wide. Great defence by Dowd. Claire Felix was reaching for that ball, but she's gone over the net as she's played that ball. The ball hadn't yet travelled over the net. So, referee giving the point there to Team Northumbria. Claire Felix already with a big attack, but good defence, resilient defence this time by Northumbria, Beth.
Yeah, very scrappy defence. I mean, you just have one person running into the scorer's bench, but that's what you've got to do at this level of the game. You've got to chase everything down. You can't afford to give away 1 point, and a massive block there.
It is a shutout block to level it, 21-all. Claire Felix looking to go through that block with that power by the looks of it there. But the block was nicely formed together, no gap in between there. That outside hand really forcing. We talk about coaching, finishing the block as well. How important is that against a big attacker like Claire and Leah Best in this game to really finish and get your hands over that block?
It's so important. It's so crucial in your timing. It literally comes down to milliseconds if your hand just isn't pushed over as far. So on the left-hand side, you'll see here, the left hand's just got to be pushed in towards the court. Otherwise, it's just going to shackle straight off out of court.
These teams are good enough to wipe off, so that's why the block is really crucial, but also the defence, knowing that position there, where they're covering, be it cross court or line. They'll each have different tactics for each player as well, won't they?
Absolutely, and at the moment you can sort of see Durham starting to just stack their block towards the left-hand side and to cover that reverse hit. So Whitney is setting the reverse probably more than their fore attack at the moment, which is quite unusual in the women's game. So Northumbria just stacking their block there and waiting, as you see, just letting the one-on-one happen at the outside.
Thomas is the man on the floor. What have you got for us, Thomas?
Well, I've just been down. Incredible atmosphere here in the National Volleyball Centre. But I've been having a look at the team talks again, and the last 3 team talks for Team Durham have been heavily led by Claire Felix rather than the coaching staff, which is a really interesting change from how we'd normally have it, particularly even when they are calling the timeouts from the tactical bench as well.
Yeah, Claire Felix leading from the front as captain, also main coach for this team this season. In her final season here at Team Durham, we are 22-21. Felix with a deep serve to 5. Backcourt option it is, and it squeezes through the right-hand side. It was almost a 3-person block, but Bruna Bond was too wide, so there was the gap there. And it was Tokarenko it was with the attack there. She moves to the front court position, 22-all. 2 clear points required here. And it's a lovely line shot. Just wide. Looking to see whether they got that touch on the defence as well. Advantage here for Team Northumbria. They've been behind most of this set. A couple of timeouts called by Doka Child. Clever play by Bruna Bond there. Wiping off the block. Again, this is what we talked about, not that block being finished, and she's able to just shape her shoulder around, delay a little bit, and play off the block there to level it.
It's hard for the defenders in that case because it's literally just a reaction game, but it moves so fast.
Vlasic not pushing that ball far enough, causing the error, and blocking that done by Culpepper gives us the first set point here for Team Durham. 24-23. It's as close as we thought it was going to be so far. Whitney Wild, the setter, on the service line. Now Tokarenko finds that line. Starnard blocking inside, almost taking cross, leaving a one-on-one effectively. Not necessarily going hard. Whitney Wild, foot slightly in court as well. So should she be wider, do you think, on that defence?
She needs to be on the line for that. If you're on the line with your outside foot there, you know anything that side is out. And she, as you can see, she was just a bit hesitant on it, so she does need to get wider.
All square, 24-all. Opportunity, the quick attack down the middle. Leah Best gets her hands to it. But court ball called by the first referee there, so set point number 2. Bruna Bond, it is to serve on the far side from our commentary positions. Floor's just being cleaned. Our fantastic volunteers here doing a sterling job, as always, with every event here at the National Volleyball Centre. Here we go, set point number 2. Good pressure serve. Opportunity to the net there. Culpepper and Sternard. No mistakes this time. Wait for that ball. And it's a shutout block. 26-24. The first set. Advantage here to Team Durham.
We've already got Dave Skipsey here on the live stream. Has called it already. It's going to 5 sets according to him. Got a lot of support here for Team Northumbria.
expect this to go a long, long way. 2 points in a set is not a lot to give up here. Advantage it is. It's only advantage at the minute. Nothing is finished. Nothing is completed at all in this game. These guys have played each other a lot. As I mentioned a few weeks ago, they played in the Bucks Big Wednesday in Nottingham, where Team Northumbria was successful. And if all goes to well, they'll be playing each other in the Super 8 come start of May. And that's a 2-game swing there as well. So you can remember, you can join us. Use the hashtag CupFinals18 and tweet us in at VBall England. If you're watching on Facebook, a very warm welcome to the National Volleyball Centre here in Kettering, home of Volleyball England. It's Cup Final weekend. We're going to be here all weekend streaming these matches. This is the Women's Cup Final. We've got the Men's Cup Final coming later on, which is IBB Bologna London taking on, again, Team Northumbria. But the action here, Durham leading by 1-0. Options available for Northumbria. Some changes. He's already made a couple of serving changes. Will he stick with the same team? We'll see what the starting lineup is to start with. Guessing Durham will be staying as they finished. Whitney Wild starting as their setter. They have got Petra Jebrakova back as well, who's an NCAA setter. Missed the Bucks finals through injury, but she's here on the bench, number 11. So no doubt at some point in the game we shall see her today. Both teams heavily involved in cup finals in previous years here. Always each team have opportunities to compete in the cup. They enter in the round number 2. So Team Durham have beaten Leeds in round 2, Birmingham round 3. Quarterfinals they took on the Super 8 team of Wessex, and then the semi-final they were victorious against the London Orcas, Pulse Point London Orcas. But Northumbria, a similar run. They had Hull Thunder in round 2, Manchester Marvels in round 3, then faced 2 Super 8 teams in City of Salford in the quarterfinals, and then successful in the semi-finals against Bologna, side out London. And that's why they're here. That is their route to the finals here at Kettering. Thomas, what have you got for us?
Well, it's really interesting to see the different approaches to the tactics that they're having here in the gap between the two sets. A fantastic first set once again. Team Northumbria having a large discussion, everyone's involved with it. Durham have broken into smaller groups and they're discussing different things at a different level before coming together for an overall tactic. So they're really working on some of the minutiae there. We've also seen that all the teams have now arrived, or both the teams for later on, Bologna and Team Northumbria. Team Northumbria for the Men's Cup are looking a little bit more nervous, but it's probably because they're watching their compatriots now.
Yeah, the men's game is coming up after this game. We are back here with the second set. Just have a quick check. Same lineups for both teams. Captain Claire Felix off at the minute, as she is the backcourt middle player. So Libero 1 for them. Durham serving, getting underway here. First attack now. Opportunity is a backcourt attack for Astorita. Now Sam Cash with that slide attack. Really turning her shoulders, Beth, across that ball now to get that steep angle across the 2.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of slide attackers will tend to prefer to go straight down the line because that's the way they're running. But she's managed to turn it straight across, and it's back to 2, really, which is a very impressive shot to make from the run she's made.
Fantastic ace serve. That ball moving left and right in this sports hall. The arena here, if you get this ball, these Mikasa balls just right, they do shift across a little bit. Sophie Sitsko caught flat there as that ball was moving. She took the step to the left. The ball just moves across. It's a great ace serve for Cash. Sam Cash this time again, trying to put the pressure on that float serve, trying to drop it in. So first point on the board here for Team Durham. Sternard the middle serving. It's a free net for Leah Best. And that slide attack, lovely hands by Vlasic again. That middle block sold down the middle. Lovely work in. Important to get that first ball as well. If they can get that ball into the setter nice and high towards 2.5 position, it gives them all the combinations, making life hard for the defense. Oh, and it's a jump. It's a float serve here. Dropping short there, Vlasic. just getting her signals from Dave Goodchild where to serve.
Caught short. The libero has actually been pushed sort of back out the pass. They've now got a 4-man passing unit just to give the server something different to look at. Great pickup.
Opportunity again now for Northumbria. That ball comes straight back. Where do they go? They go to the reverse. It's a little tip. Ball looks like it's just travelled outside. It is wide of the line. Great pickup. As you mentioned, the libero being picked up on that serve as well. Neither team really confident in the first few phases of the transition here. But then it was Tokarenko there. To mention about her power, but there, knowing she was tight on, just to be able to play that ball, tipping it over, and defence already set ready for a big attack as well. So a 4-point lead now. Northumbria coming out all guns blazing in this first start. Good pressure on the service line again to the libero, position 1. And that's a lovely distribution by Whitney Wild out wide to Culpepper, drawing that gap. So 2-5 the score. Culpepper with a service error. Remember, do get in touch with us. Join us on Facebook and on Twitter. Use the hashtag CupFinals18. Great to see so many comments coming up on the Facebook page. Let us know where you are, who you're cheering on as well in this competition. It's Bruna Bond there with a little tip on the backcourt attack. Sophie Sitsko setting herself. It's a big middle attack by Leah Best. No touch was what Claire Felix was saying. No touch needed because the ball drops in court. Leah Best not hitting at the highest point there, so arm coming down.
Still taller than most players.
So it's Tokarenko there, dropping that ball in short. Trying to take out that middle option of Claire Felix, so has to go out wide to Cisco. Now the setter takes the first ball. It's a shutout block by Leah Best off the head. Oh, Bruna Bon. We go to the technical timeout. 6-point lead here, Beth. 8-2 in favour of Team Northumbria.
Don't know what Dave said at the change of ends at the set, but it seems to have worked. Coming out all guns blazing, 6-point lead.
We talk a lot about error-free volleyball. The service hasn't been... There's not been so many errors coming on the serve, but also the passes coming in, which has given Northumbria that distribution options, which is starting to pay dividends as well. They're putting their pressure on. In the previous set, they were giving quite a few free balls over or half attacks, which then meant Durham will attack them. I think you can let Durham attack you, they will hurt you, won't they?
Yeah, if you give an easy ball over, it definitely comes back with interest. But you can see Northumbria's serving hasn't been massively hard. They've just been placing it perfectly to the right place. So you see that one, it's just coming short at 2, and it takes out the middle attack and the reverse attack, so you can just stack up your defence and your blockers.
The team Northumbria are very heavy into their stats and reading the game, how it works. They've got a full bench of players and support staff that work behind them as well, and they're very well drilled. They know exactly where they want to work, how they want to work, and that's showing here. Half expect this serve from Tokarenko to go towards the libero, who's defending at position 1 at the minute.
I'm sure all of the Northumbria coaches were probably watching the Bucks final from last night, just to get a refresher of how the match was, what players they're going to be up against, and taking key stats and where to push the ball, weaknesses.
This time it's clever play on the attack by Reiswig. A ball tight. It wasn't necessarily the highest set for her. She wasn't necessarily in that position, but just use those hands, go off the fingers and out of play. The touch wasn't given, so Team Durham have it, and then Cisco with that service. A serve on, just dropping short on Leah Best. So Leah Best playing middle, so not in the pass here, so a bit of communication between Best and Tokarenko there. Picks the same place again, a little bit deeper serve. Good solid block. The ball just dropping on to the seat of the first umpire. No mistake at this time here for Team Northumbria. That's a good run of points back for Team Durham. They needed that after the technical timeout, 8-2. It is now 9-5. It's the big England international, Leah Best, on the service line, number 15. Forcing that reverse set there, so it's a little bit low for Best.
Massive block out of nowhere.
Claire Felix looked like she was well out of position and she had that reverse attack really wide. And very nonchalantly just steps across, big left hand onto that block, just shutting her out. You could tell by a celebration what that meant. And it is the captain back to serve. Overpass by Northumbria. Options here for Durham. It goes out wide. Free net. And Julie put away here.
Was Whitney having a go at an attack?
Gap is now 2 points. Northumbria a little bit tighter on the pass. Here they've got the options out wide. Goes 1-on-1. Great blocking by Whitney Wild. Sam Cash from the middle. Now, this time, can Team Northumbria attack? They can, again through the middle. Great defence. And then it is a shutout block this time by Asarita. Ball not necessarily going at the highest on the net as well there. So the net combination and block really finishing that off. Been played at quite a fast pace here. Great ball in by Sophie Sitsko. Set a little bit low there for Sternard. Now opportunities with the backcourt line. Goes Tokarenko. Seeing her with the outside hand, just turning it around the ball to get that angle shot just wide. So Seta Whitney Wild serving. It's that jump float serve. Goes straight down to the centre. Cash again. Turning inside on the attack on 2. No mistakes there. Second time of asking by Ricewick. She had that little tip. Team Northumbria looking for a held ball or a lift, as it's more commonly known in the game. But then Ricewick then finds that gap between the block there to be able to put the ball away. Opportunity now for Team Northumbria. The ball was tight to the net there. Flashich going for a second ball over, well read. Libra goes for the backcourt option. Astarita fires out wide. Tries to go to that angle from 2 to 2 to give him the most amount of court space as well. But just getting a hand across the ball too much.
Really see the importance of the blocking in this match. Even in just the last few points, you've had so many times where it's been close to the net and it's been backwards and forwards.
Better ball in this time by Northumbria, given the options. Durham defend well. Culpepper it is. Big block there by Tokarenko. Tokarenko backs off, ready for the attack. But it goes to Cash on their reverse. And it's Sisco with a shutout block. This time Cash was going down the line. Sisco held a position. There was a gap between Sam Cash as well, looking to that gap for her and Sternard. But Sisco holding strong again. That outside hands you mentioned earlier, Beth. 1 point in it, 10-11. A little bit too much on the power. So Big Leah Best back on for the middle here. Front court setter option for Team Northumbria. 3 attacking options coming up now for Team Durham on this. They're looking for a good pass in to run those options. Middle is taken away, so it's got to be split one way either. That's a free ball now for Team Durham. They go down the centre, off the hands of Leah Best, is it? No touch given. Our angle up here, we couldn't really see whether she got a hand on there or not. So Sternard trying to find that middle again. It's a backcourt setting option, 3 options here for Durham. 13-10. Middle option is out. Double contact. The referee's made the decision early on about what his level of this is, and this is the top level. It's the cup final, so they'll be quite strict, not just on the setters, but on even the middle players when they start to get their hands on the ball. Lovely play there. Team Northumbria trying to play that ball short on the middle player to take them out the options. There's a lovely reverse set there by Whitney Wild. Leaves her hands really late, so there's a blocking option. It's really hard to read as soon as that ball's going to go back. Her thumb's really pushing that ball well.
I've played against Whitney before, and as a blocker, you have no idea where the ball is going to go half the time. So she's a very good setter to disguise where the ball's going.
Ball there too tight on the net for Whitney. Just demonstrating with the referee that she thought that she played the ball over on this side of the net.
I think Leah Best might have just got a tiny bit over on that one, but
4-point gap has built up again. It's a really quick 2-point swing here. 15-11. 1 point required for Team Northumbria to go to the technical timeout leading. They target the libero again. Another option for them. Good reach by Claire Felix on that middle. Couple of scrappy points as we make our way through 2/3 here in this competition. 12-15. Again, this serve receive is the big key here. So that serve receives coming in. Each team are distributing the ball well and making use of it.
The serve and receive has been very good on both sides at the moment. We haven't seen that many shank serves. We've seen aces, but they can't really be helped when the ball is going that close to the line.
So Vlasic now penetration setter, so 3 options available. Front court. So needs a good ball in. It's a high ball. It's Tokarenko there. Just using the knuckles this time, almost a beat shot, just to make sure that ball comes over. Whitney Wild play the ball high into the middle of the court. Options again for Northumbria. And it is with a cut shot by Tokarenko. Just clipping the tape, just dropping in. And that takes us to the technical timeout. 16-12 here. So Beth, what would the coaches be saying now from a Team Northumbria perspective? So Dave Goodchild, what's he going to be saying to his team?
I don't think Dave would say too much. It's just about continue what you're doing, keep the pressure on. They've got a 4-point lead. They've got a little bit of margin for error, but they're doing very well at the moment. Blocking wise, just push over a bit more, and the setters just keep distributing the ball and putting the pressure on the Durham defence.
As you mentioned, they've probably been watching the videos from previous games, and they've played each other twice in the Super 8s competition as well in the volleyball top level. And both these teams are the top level we've had playing in the last couple of years. They've really dominated this league alongside with Bologna side out London, really trying to push this level through and really set the standard here. It was great to have so many Americans coming over, represented from Hawaii, playing the NCAA, really high level. They might only be here for a year or 2 years, but they do really raise the level of what we experience here from a Volleyball England perspective as well.
They do, and especially in like the university leagues, especially. So I've played against both of these teams, university leagues, and that was only last season. And this season, like I said to you, Mark, I didn't really recognise many of the players left anymore. I mean, we've got a few that do sort of stay for a couple of years, but Northumbria, it's the first time I've really seen them play without, obviously, their Whitneys and their Magdas. So it's a very different side. But even without those players, they're still managing to have such a good and strong programme to really raise the level of volleyball here in England.
Back with the action. Sitsko there. Squeezes that gap through the hands of Leah Best on the middle block. And again, Beth's already talked about that finish of the block there. Leah Best's hands were wide and spread and up there, so not really shutting out. And Sitsko not the tallest player, so going to use her technique well on that ball. 2 blockers. Down the line goes Astarita. Just how easy is it for an opposite there to let that ball just travel across the body to get that arm down to swing that line shot?
Oh, it's not easy at all. It is one of the hardest hits to master because it, especially as a right-handed opposite as well, it's easier for a left hand because you can just flip your hip round, but for a right-handed opposite to be able to hit that shot and with power as well is such a difficult skill.
So serving substitution again. Blair Rick back on. So that service error means that Claire Felix goes back to the service line here. 3 points in it, 14-17. Serves on the libero. Quick middle attack here by Cash. Finds the hands of Sternard. It's going to go out wide. Now to Bruno Bont. No attack for Northumbria now. Chance for Durham. They go for that slide attack. Pressure starting to tell now for Team Durham there. They couldn't go out and get the kills they're required. And then a lovely reverse attack. Diagonal shot to find that gap in the corner. 18-14. Astorita is to serve. Leading by 4. Just catching too much on that float serve. So it's the setter serving now. Whitney Wild. Great defense again by Whitney, which means the libero is going to take the set. Options now again for Durham. Bruno Bond finds the hands just on the line by Sam Cash.
They were so confident that one was going out. You had 2 Durham players around that one that just left it.
Timeout called this time by Team Durham. It is Ali now, one of the assistant coaches, just having a word with the team now. Claire Felix. She's off course at the minute while the libero's on. She's having a quick word with a couple of her players as well. Ali's having a chat at the minute with Whitney Wild, the setter. As you see, Paul Welsh now leading the timeout call here in the ladies competition. Dave Goodchild just having a chat with the setters. So both setters have a bit of one-on-one time with their coaching. Maybe talk about the distribution and the choices they make as well. Unfortunately, setters live and die by their decisions they make where it goes. A hitter might always say the ball wasn't high enough, long enough, but decisions made by a setter. They have so much process going through their head from the serve, the receive gets coming in, who they're going to set, who are they going to block. It's a wonder to watch them play. Cash with a shutout block there. Culpepper it was, trying to go cross court. Cash with their left hand, also steering that ball back into court with a shutout block. 5 points the lead here, 20-15.
It's just out there from the middle, didn't take a touch off of the Northumbria block. So Northumbria going back to serve with a 6-point lead and just 4 points left until they get the set. Straight into net there, which is what we call a negative error here in volleyball. So if it goes straight into the net, there's nothing the other team could have done about it. Whereas if it goes out onto the sides or far out the back of the court, then at least the other team, there's a chance that they might touch the ball.
Brazilian serving. Bruno Bont. Even out wide with a 2-person block. Stennard not quite getting across. So Culpepper there, and that has been exploited.
The tiniest of tiny gaps, but she managed to find it straight in the middle of the block.
Claire Felix just get up out of her seat there just to demonstrate again, finishing that block. She's talking about forcing those arms forward, not just up, but really getting those arms over. A serve. Again, they're picking on the libero here from Team Durham. So Mary Kate Imrie from Chicago, Illinois. The target of many serve receive here of Team Northumbria's float serves as well. Really moving it to the left and right. And she's not almost leading with her arms first, not her hips. And that then, as soon as she turns her arms, almost turns into that golf swing style. That's where the ball comes across, ricochets left and right. Yeah,
the ball sort of just died on her about a metre before she thought it was going to. But you can see over in the Durham timeout as well, Whitney's been taken aside and she's having some one-on-one coach as well. So both teams are really focusing on the setters and how they're positioning the ball and moving the ball around the court.
Lots of shout-outs coming up on social media as well for both these teams. 23-16 again. The target, the libero. But it's great vision by Culpepper going high. Sam Cash just watched that ball coming in and dropping down that channel. 17-23. Tokarenko just using the hands of Felix this time. Takes us to 7 set points. So 2 set points were saved in the first set. Now it's opportunity for Team Northumbria to level the game. 24-17. Setter Vlasic to serve. She floats to the libero. Ball down the middle. Felix just getting a hand to the left hand side of the ball, getting that cut shot across. 1 set point saved. Out wide, the option, it comes. Again, that gap in that block being exploited. Felix completely out jumps the Whitney Wilder blocker there, but it's an easy gap to come across, a tight angle in. 25-18. Beth, thoughts on the second set?
I think it was a lot better from Team Northumbria there. They seem to have settled into themselves a bit. You could see the attack was a lot faster. Both teams actually are playing the ball very low above the height of the net, which is why we're seeing so many blocks as well. So blocking is playing a massive part in today's game. And I think we're pretty 50-50 on blocking success at the moment. But Northumbria really dug deep in that one and just sort of minimalised their errors and found themselves in a bit of confidence.
We haven't got the stats with us yet, but hopefully we'll get them to give you a bit of an overview about this. But a lot of it's been down the serve receiver as well, Beth, here. Putting that pressure on the serve receiver, especially we've seen Northumbria targeting the libero, for example. Taking that pressure out to alleviate that middle attack, being fast down the middle, because they're using Claire Felix, the captain from Team Durham, right on the centre of the short attack, but also moving her to the reverse slide as well. So with this ball not coming in, it's taking that option completely out, and they're not really dominating those wing attacks. Yeah,
I mean, it's not a very common tactic to have, to serve onto the libero, because the libero is normally the strongest passer. So for Northumbria to be targeting the libero and the results coming out of it as well, it just goes to show how strong their serving team is. But like you said, they're not managing to run the middle as often, but you can see when they do run the middle, their success rate is so high, and it's such a strong attack as well, that really Northumbria just cannot give them that option.
Yeah. Like I say, it's not a straight serve either, the libero. They are serving to the seams either left and right hand side of her, is really kind of making her have to force to bring that ball in, which is then making it harder for Whitney Wild to get any kind of decent sets out. Not saying she's not setting badly at all by any means, but her options being taken away, she's minimised. They're not using the pipe that much as well. Thomas, what have you noticed down on the floor then?
Well, it's been really interesting. Another great set. We're being treated to some great volleyball today. I've been down at the back having a look at the teams have some people with laptops and printers. They're analysing every single element of the sport, printing things off and getting the subs to run them round to the coaching staff. A lot of people think they just turn up and coach, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, so we have Data Volley here. We've got Ross Enfield doing statisticians for Team Northumbria, but also we have Volley Data with Steve Matthews, Ben, Joe, and the rest of the team there. Rod Stockwell working hard on those lines as well. Working hard on those lines as well. So back with the action. Working hard on those lines as well. 1 set all. So back with the action. Working hard on those lines as well. 1 set all is going to be serving. So back with the action. Working hard on those lines as well.
Again.
1 set all is going to be serving. Attack option. Free ball time. Back with the action. Working hard on those lines as well. Wild goes 2. Pepper pokes that ball down the line. Lovely play there. Ball's too tight in the net. He's trying to swing through, but just use those knuckles and just push that ball down onto the corner gap. So first point here in this third set, going the way of Team Purple. Stannard serving, dropping that ball short on Emily Astorista. So Astorista stepping in the pass here, even though she's playing as opposite. Tokarenko, the number 8, out of position 4, is pushed out wide on the left-hand side.
I think I hear Polonia.
Polonia Supporter Club will definitely be in vocal terms and noisy later on in the men's cup final.
You definitely hear them before you see them.
So floor is clean now, we're good to go. 2-0. Sergio Sternard again with that serve. Sam Cash really twisting that body around. Sitsko helping to take the power out of the ball. Lovely reverse set there by Whitney Wild. Culpepper off the hands and out of play. Wasn't going for the kill there, just using the hands there, as you mentioned before, Beth, as well, on that hand attack. Goodchild calling for a timeout here with the score 3-0 in favour of Team Durham in the third set. In the third set. Early words there being said now by Dave Goodchild to his team. Durham will be happy with everything so far. A big bench here in the third set. Should changes need to be made for. Early words there being said now by Dave Goodchild to his team. Durham will be happy with everything so far. A big bench here for both these teams. Very well. Should changes need to be made for. Early words there being said now by Dave Goodchild to his team. Durham will be happy with everything so far. Options to go out. A big bench here for both these teams. Very well. Should changes need to be made for. Early words there being said now. You see how frustration she do as soon as you hit that. Durham will be happy with everything so far. Only one blocker as well. The middle was drawn away. Here for both these teams. Very well. Should changes need to be made for. Early words there being said now. You see how frustration she do as soon as you hit that. Durham will be happy with everything so far. Only one blocker as well. The middle was drawn away. Here for both these teams. Very well. Should changes need to be made for. Early words there being said now. You see how frustration she do as soon as you hit that. Durham will be happy with everything so far. Only one blocker as well. The middle was drawn away. Here for both these teams. Very well. Should changes need to be made for. Early words there being said now. As well. As you hit that point, you should tight on net there. Lovely spot by the centre there. Going away. Right with the hands. Early words there being said as well. As you hit that point, you should tight on net there. Lovely spot by the centre there. Going away. Right with the hands. As well. As you hit that point, you should tight on net there. Lovely spot by the centre there. Going away. Right with the hands. Scrappy play by both teams. Sitsko somehow manages to get that ball over. Wasn't the cleanest point with their celebration. She'll take that. Durham now leads. Scrappy play by both teams. Sitsko somehow manages to get that ball over. Wasn't the cleanest point with their celebration. She'll take that. Durham now leads. Scrappy play by both teams. Sitsko somehow manages to join on social media against such a hashtag. Finals 18. She'll take that. Durham now leads. Scrappy play by both teams. Sitsko somehow manages to join on social media against such a hashtag. Finals 18. She'll take that. Durham now leads. Scrappy play by both teams. There's definitely no America Emery and the Libro for Team Durham as Steve Long at University. Finals 18. Very warm welcome to everybody who's watching overseas. There's definitely no America Emery and the Libro for Team Durham as Steve Long at University. Finals 18. Very warm welcome. Lovely work there. 1 on 18. There's definitely no America Emery and the Libro for Team Durham as Steve Long at University. Finals 18. Very warm welcome over the block there. Lovely work there. 1 on 18. There's definitely no America Emery and the Libro for Team Durham as Steve Long at University. Finals 18. Very warm welcome over the block there. Lovely work there. 1 on 18. There's definitely no America Emery and the Libro for Team Durham as Steve Long at University. No witness match. Very warm welcome over the block there. Lovely work there. 1 on 18. There's definitely no America Emery and the Libro for Team Durham as Steve Long at University. Astorita using the hands there over the block there. She was out of position to try to come to court for a team earlier. Vlasic having to go to 2 with the middle options now as well. This side, Astorita using the hands there over the block there. She was out of position to try to come to court for a team earlier. Vlasic having to go to 2 with the middle options now as well. This side, Their best there to see hands there. Not to say being sold, but going down in the finishing on fire reverse slide attack. Leaving the back foot option open. Culpepper giving it all mighty swing. Take their best there to see hands back. Not to say being sold, but going down in the finishing on fire reverse slide attack. Leaving the back foot option open. Ace serve. Culpepper giving it all Tokarenko. Take their best moving. Back not to say being sold, but going down in the finishing on fire reverse slide attack. Between Cisco and Henry. Ace serve. Culpepper giving it all Tokarenko. Take their best moving. Back not to say being sold, but going down in the finishing on fire reverse slide attack. Cisco the best. Henry. Ace serve. Culpepper giving it all. Watch that ball. Swings over. Take their best moving. Back not to say being sold, but calling confusion on the net. Cisco the best. Henry. Durham was wild. No, she didn't touch that. There's that ball. Home net there as well as the ball swung through. Calling confusion on the net. Cisco the best. Henry. Durham was wild. No, she didn't touch that. There's that ball. Home net there as well as the ball swung through. Calling confusion on the net. Cisco the best. Henry. Durham was wild. No, she didn't touch that. There's that ball. Home net there as well as the ball swung through. Athletes off the fingertips with a bar to the best. Henry. Durham was wild. No, she didn't touch that. 1 point gap now there as well as the ball swung through. Athletes off the fingertips with a bar to the best. Henry. Durham was wild. She didn't touch that. 1 point ball as well. They're best enough better at coming on to serve. Athletes off the fingertips. 1 successful serve. 1 error on the serve. Previous 2 substitutions. 1 point ball as well. They're best enough better at coming on to serve. Athletes off the fingertips. 1 successful serve. 1 error on the serve. Previous 2 substitutions. Almost go down as an ace serve. As well. Pass just flipping the base taker. Coming on to serve. Athletes off the fingertips. 1 successful serve. 1 error on the serve. Previous 2 substitutions. Almost go down as an ace battle. 5-1 down. They've got the base taker. Coming on to serve. Athletes off the fingertips. 1 successful serve. 1 error on the serve. Previous 2 substitutions. Almost go down as an ace battle. All playing for 1 down. They've got the base taker. Coming on to serve. That's really solid play. Ball coming up there. Back ball. All playing for 1 down. They've got the base taker. Coming on to serve. That's really solid play. Ball coming up there. Back ball. All playing for 1 down. They've got the base taker. Coming on to serve. That's really solid play. Ball coming up there. Back ball. All playing for 1 down. They've got the base taker. Coming on to serve. That's really solid play. Ball coming up there. Back ball. All playing for 1 down. They've got the base taker. Coming on to serve. That's really solid play. Ball coming up there. Back ball. All playing for 1 down. They've got the base taker. Coming on to serve. That's really solid play. Ball coming up there. Back ball. All playing for 1 down. They've got the base taker. Coming on to serve. That's really shutout block. Asarita taking out Wally. Actually right next to him, and that was all over by Asarita. What difference does it make? Shutout block. Your experience with these guys in your training. Asarita taking out Wally. Actually right next to him, and that was all over by Asarita. What difference does it make? Shutout block. Your experience with these guys in your training. Asarita taking out Wally. Actually right next to him, and that was all over by Asarita. 3 points again built up. Asterita is to serve. Opposite will move across to position 1 to defend. As that middle attack comes, nothing she could do. She was down on her haunches to pick that ball up. With a big swing by Sternard off the hands of Cash to the right-hand side.
Last minute turn again from the middle, aiming everything towards 5, and then last minute just turns and aims towards 1.
Good pressure serve. Hustling now by Team Northumbria. So Cisco off the hands and out of play. The ball again, as you mentioned earlier, Beth, very flat set out wide. Cisco not the biggest and got big hands on there, just shaping the ball off the hands, out of play, securing that point. Gets within 1 point now, 11-12.
It's tough if you're not a tall outside player and you're getting fast sets, but you can't afford to have big loopy sets at the level like this, because everything will just get picked up or blocked out. So Sophie's doing very well to use the block and seeing that the block's not being finished properly to be able to score goals like that.
Streeter taking that pass again, swinging across the right hand side, but we're still able to get the attack in. Tokarenko. Vlasic tight on the set there. Cisco going steep angle cross court. Vlasic, nice hands at the net. Pressure on that ball in, but lovely defense by Whitney Wild. She's having a great game so far. Northumbria go for that reverse slide off the hands. The block moving, they're not really setting themselves as well. As wide Sam goes, the block is travelling, so when they're in the air, they're also travelling across as well. Makes it extra half of that defence if that block is moving in mid-air. Tokarenko with a power shot through 4. Vlasic has options. She goes out wide, 1-on-1. Good hands by Culpepper. Culpepper this time has a standing attack through 2. Whitney Wild over on 2. It's picked up all right in the 6. Got to be steep angle. Tokarenko measure out that power. Jumping backwards as well. Still able to get a hand over the ball and get that right angle across.
That was great play from Northumbria. You had 2 players crashing into the middle of the court to cover Whitney's second touch. And even with a wide attack, they managed to win that point.
Always like a pancake in a cup final game.
Double pancake. I think it went off both.
Great vision again by Whitney Wild. She's defended well, but also has that vision, quick hands to drop the ball over at middle and also pushing the ball down the corner. So defensively, if they see Whitney turn, they don't know where it's going to go on that point as well. So she hasn't always going predictive down into the corners. Team Northumbria are leading though by 3 points here, 14-11. Sternard looked like she moved a little bit wider on that short attack. So unforced errors now coming out of Team Durham. Lovely set again by Whitney Wild, out wide to Culpepper. The middle blocker being dragged by the middle. It could have gone there, but just lifted across and travelled nicely. Culpepper again, finishing well through 2.
And again, it's that hit through 2 down the line, which is so hard to master, but she hit with such force that the libero just couldn't control it.
No mistake there. You can see her trying to go down the line again, but the block held that position well as we go to technical timeout. That shutout block, 16-12. They lead by 4 points here in the 3rd set. We're all tied, 1 set all.
Dave Goodchild must be happy now. I mean, he called a timeout when they were 4 points down earlier on in the set, and now they're winning by 4 points. They've had an 8-point turnaround to go into the second timeout, and it's a similar position to what they were in last set. So it's looking good for the rest of the set for Team Northumbria.
Both teams will be trusting each other. They'll be talking about their set game plan that they've got. They know where to put the pressure on the serve, as we've already highlighted early on in this game. They are going to keep putting that pressure on. Not many are jump top spin serving. They're all float serving. The ball is moving a lot here in the National Volleyball Centre. Big crowd here for day one of the cup final action at the National Volleyball Centre. So back with the action. Leah Best comes back on for Blair Elric at the net. A big 2 metre tall English player middle, number 15. Quite a battle in the hands with the All-American NCAA captain, Claire Felix. But it's Cisco that has the attacking option. Goes out wide for Northumbria. Tokarenko just off the hands of Culpepper. It's great to see the thinking game being played here by these attackers, Cisco and Tokarenko, on these last few attacks, really using the hands well on that block as well, not getting shut out so many times, but actually thinking about playing that ball off the hands and out of play. One-handed set with a big kill by Felix. Lovely hands by Wild. Defense was set. That might be one of the reasons why she was an All-American in the NCAA. Do you reckon? As I mentioned it before, saw her at the Bucks competition, looking to get a pro contract somewhere around Europe. Oh, lovely read by Cisco over on 2 of Vlasic. It wasn't the cleanest by Vlasic, but well read by Cisco, just dropping that ball back over. Vlasic has a couple of little fidgets when she's set. She goes in, and she's always on her toes as if she's about to jump set each time. It makes it hard whether she's going to jump, go in the air, or she's going to stay standing to play that ball out wide. Luckily, I think the advantage of Claire Felix with her reach as well makes it quite easy to get across from one side of court to the other. Good child, just having a chat with Vlasic while the floor's being cleaned. Just makes her signals across to the team. Each team will have their own signals of what they're playing in the positions they're playing at. That signal by Vlasic was out wide, Tokarenko, and kill, I think. Again, has the opportunity then to kill the ball, has the distance to go cross court. Vlasic serves. Set her out now, so Libra will take the second ball, goes to the reverse. Down the line. Cisco with a free ball in. Opportunity now. 3 attackers lined up, ready to come in. Where's it going to go? It's out wide. Tokarenko, tight corner shot. Almost inside the 3 metre line. Libro diving to a left-hand side, but that topspin just dropping the ball really steep.
It's a great angle, and it's just the wrist snap that you can see. It doesn't go straight down. She's just snapping it just outside of her shoulder, which again is a very hard skill to master.
Timeout called by Team Durham here with a 5-point gap. Team Durham not wanting Team Northumbria to get ahead too far in this third set. Always important here from a coaching perspective to get that first point back now from a timeout as well. So here we come. So first time out here in the third set for Team Durham. Can they shut out now? It's going to be Vlasic to serve. Captain and setter for Team Northumbria. It's Felix, the captain, out wide on the reverse. Goes out wide again, Tokarenko. Good defense by Bon. Bon's really being asked questions now. Felix with a great block. Now opportunity on this transition. Quick hands, Cisco, but it is shut out by Astorita. Felix now goes high on 2. There's a block by Tokarenko, but the second referee has called her for a net infringement on that block. There's a lovely block as well. Quick passage of play by both teams. Transition the ball very, very quickly, but that reverse set, I think she'll be happy with that net touch call, I think. Unforced error here by Tisco on the service line. 5 points the gap again, 15-20.
I think Jade will see that last call is a bit fairer now that that one's gone into the net. It's sort of 1-1.
Whitney Wilder, front court setter now. Has her options, goes out wide. Bruna Bon again, being asked questions off this Brazilian. Played at a very high level and represented the country at under 17, under 19 levels, so very experienced this wing attacker. There, nothing the ball she could do about it there. It's too far off the net. Flashes there, just push that ball wide. Right, backcourt set comes in. 1-on-1, off the hands. Lovely play by Emery, running out into the benches. Bruna Bon tries to finish the ball, and she does finish the ball this time. 4-time of asking in this set. She's one of the top point scorers on the attacking game for Team Durham already. Been asked a lot of questions out there wide. Felix back to serve. Vlasic pushes the ball out wide. Reiswig there. Slight gap again in the block. Still not getting that right hand across, but not the left to close that block off. Giving her the options as well. Reiswig just delays that vision on the attack before she swings cross court. So Sternard coming in the centre, Bruna Bon out wide. The attacking options front court. They still got Culpepper on the pipe attack line as well. There go Bruna Bon, she goes down the line, and the flags. Anyway, again, this is service pressure they're starting to put on there, taking the options while the setter's front court. Really trying to minimise the attacking options here for Team Durham.
It's very hard if Whitney's running towards 4 for her to then push the ball back for an opposite attack. So really the only option they have is the wing attack. And then straight off the foot.
Techers by Culpepper. Cash! A reverse steep angle right on the line. Timeout called by Team Durham. Lovely play. As you mentioned, Culpepper not even aware on that serve there. Luckily sticking a leg out to it. Almost got the win on the swing by Bon. But then Cash, lovely work across the left-hand side. Felix now having words with her team. This set's starting to edge away a little bit. Nothing's over, we know that. Nothing's over just yet. We'll let Whitney know that Tom and Phil are watching. We're high up on the gantry though. But she comes round, we'll give them a shout out for you and let you know. 2 points required then for Team Northumbria. That's Durham's second timeout. Important now to get his first point back after the technical time, after their second timeout. Leah Best serving. Serves high on Sophie Cisco. Bruna Bon with their attack. Force that ball inside the block. Hitting that ball nice and low towards the net there to get inside of the blocking hands. Cash going to the left-hand side. Sternard knew that this time. Hands solid there. That is a shutout block. If you've been on the American Beach Tour, you'll know that's a monster block.
Great set to push it sort of 8 metres reverse.
Setters really distributed the ball well here. For that reverse set by Wild was just hit long by Culpepper. Trying to force that ball deep. It is now set point, 6 set points for 18 Northumbria, 24-18 in the third set. Asterita is to serve. Whitney goes to 2. Brynna Bond just half speed. Just shapes that ball over the net. Lovely dropping it into the middle of the court. Clever play there to save 1 set point. 19-24. Good pressure serve, dropping short on the Libero. Whitney now going to 2 again. Culpepper has the options. Sneaks it inside the block. And there's down the Libero diving across her right hand side. She's had to set herself out wide on the left hand side. But as that ball comes around the block, really hard for her to get that right arm up and over the ball. So second set point saved, 20-24. High pressure serve, goes to that reverse attack. Sam Cash, the ball was travelling deep, and that takes the third set, and Team Northumbria lead by 2-1. Third set score was 25-20. As the teams now change ends, getting themselves ready for set number 4.
2 sets on the spin for Team Northumbria then in this Women's Cup final. After going 1 down, they now lead 2 sets.
Remember, join us on social media. Use the hashtag CupFinals18. Follow us on @VBallEngland, both on Twitter and on Facebook.
1, 2, 1, 2,
Big crowd.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Standing room only here in the National Volleyball Centre here in Kettering.
Hello.
As we said at the very start of this game, this could go either way. Again, Dave Goodchild talking to the setter again about options and decisions. Claire Felix with her coaching staff there just sorting up the lineup sheets. She has to take control of those. It'll be Team Durham to start off, and they'll start off serving. First advantage chance for them to take in. They need to push them in this ball set to get anywhere chance to a 5th set then, Beth.
They do. I mean, I wouldn't write Durham out yet. I mean, we've seen them in the first set. They came out all guns blazing, sort of caught Northumbria a bit off guard. But all it takes is a couple of service runs and you're 4 or 5 points in the lead. So I think Durham have definitely still got stuff in the tank that they can offer. They've still got big attacks, big blocks. But Northumbria look like they're comfortable at the moment and they're spreading the play well. And again, they sort of have an answer for a bit of everything at the moment.
Trust in the game plan, as Thomas was telling us earlier about courtside hearing in what Dave Goodchild is saying to his team. Quite right, so it's showing that obviously after that first set, 26-24, they've taken the next 2 sets, 25-18, 25-20.
Yeah, I mean, the girls will go into this set knowing exactly what their game plan is. They won't change a lot of it going into the 4th set because they don't really need to. They'll just take the confidence through, and we might see some more subs come on if they build up a lead. Maybe more than just the one serving sub that we've seen at the moment, and we could get sort of like Paige Fullerton, who's been there for a few years. She can come in and things, but it depends on what the lead is, I think.
So we'll let you know of any changes that are coming up on the starting lineups. Looks like it's the same lineup for Team Durham here in the 4th set. Likewise, not breaking the winning formula for Team Durham. Thomas, what's happening down on the floor then?
This Women's Cup final by 2-1. Please welcome both teams back to the court. Let's hear some noise for Team Durham. And who's here at the National Volleyball Centre in Kettering this afternoon for Team Northumbria?
There's a unity around both of these teams, absolutely. As we get ready to go, we'll see Dave Goodchild prowling along his technical area. Back with the action then. It's Brynna Bond to serve for Team Durham. Backcourt attack here. Asterita goes straight down the centre to Bond. Cisco then goes angle to 5. Opportunity, Vlasic goes that second ball. Sternard sees her, tries to be too quick with her hands there, clipping the tape, ball dropping on her side. Guess that's one of the challenges of playing the ball so close to the net there. If she doesn't quite get it right, there's block pressure on her. It's going to give her that option to make that error as well.
There's definitely a lot of pressure on the setter when they do a second touch over and it doesn't go right as well, because the coach can ask the question, well, why didn't you give it to your hitters? And it is a valid point. You've decided that you don't want to give it a third attack, so it is a lot of pressure when you get the second touch wrong.
Error there by Cisco on the attack. Doesn't make many at that, not making it over the net. Just losing control of the ball a little bit. It's Sam Cash to serve. Touch off. Imrie on the libero. Almost looking to leave it, but just got her arms caught in that ball. We've seen a few balls drop just on the baseline as well. Or you'll be played with the feet by Culpepper. Great chase down by Whitney Wild, even having time to kick the spare ball. So the 3-ball system being used, ball being rotated there. Whitney Wild was running out. Nothing the ball boys and ball girls did wrong there. They weren't expecting the ball to come that far out there. Whitney Wild managed to get herself a let on that game as well, kicking the ball off the wall and back into court.
2 footballers on this team now.
Vlasic now, distribution goes out wide, off the hands, the Russian Tokarenko. High hit in the hands of Culpepper and out of play to the right hand side.
Not a lot Durham could have done there. The block seemed to have been finished very well, but it was just the height. Northumbria just hit it so much higher, and it just goes off the top.
And Sam Cash picking on Sophie Cisco on the pass there, and the set's gone out wide on the reverse side, right hand side of the court. Lovely cut across by Culpepper. Sorry, Joe, back to serve then. Big middle, number 15 for Team Durham. The score 2-3. Leah Best matching up with Claire Felix on this reverse attack. When she gets it, she absolutely nails that. Easy when the one blocks it, stepping inside as well. I know it's always easy when there's no block there. Lovely distribution again by Vlasic to give her that opportunity to be one-on-one.
Again, it's another successful slide attack, which we spoke about at the start of the game would be such an important attack.
The slide attack's made such a big impact in world volleyball and at international level as well. Men tend to steer away from it, but you do see the men occasionally showing those shots as well.
Sometimes. But it tends to be preferred by teams that aren't as tall, so I think it was sort of like your Japan teams that started it, who don't really have the height profile, but here you've got Leah, who's over 2 metres tall, hit a slide absolutely perfectly. So it's been put across to all teams now.
And they're being shown the best of the best here in this cup final match with Team Northumbria taking on Team Durham. As I said, we've got Russians, Americans, Croatians, Brazilians and English here all on court, showcasing this spectacle at the National Volleyball Centre here in Kettering. 3-5 the score. Big noise coming from the Northumbria bench, trying to put off Culpepper on the serve. Vlasic with a jump set there with a steep hand by Asarita. Keeps his shoulders quite straight on, so it's just almost a hip action as well. To get those hands over the ball and snap that wrist through the block.
Such a fast arm, and again, it was just a little gap in the block, and it was a hand up, my bad, didn't get across the situation.
Again, forcing Imrie across a body, but Cash, Claire Felix this time with a great swing through too. Cisco back to serve. 1 point in it, 5-6. Float serve to 1. It's high on the Russian. Opportunity now from the backcourt line. Lovely play. Yulia there, knowing the ball was tight, she hadn't got the full run up, and just taking the power out of the ball, just tipping it over. The defence have had enough of her big hits and set themselves quite deep. Really dropping that ball on the 3-metre line. Nice, easy picking for Team Northumbria.
Caught Durham off guard with that one. First short one she played from the backcourt. And I think that was another touch just off of the hands as that one goes out the back.
Yeah, Imri knew she touched that as well. Very similar to other sports. You know you're almost going for it. It's too late to leave it. It's that decision. Is it going to drop in? You hear the coaches, if they're not sure to play it, just to keep that ball alive as well. We don't want to necessarily give them an ace, give them that 3 point. Create those unforced errors in this game as well. 3 points in this technical timeout. It's a big bench of 5 players warming up for Team Northumbria. So opportunities and changes available should Goodchild want them.
A couple of jackets have come off over in the bench as well, so we might be seeing some substitutions down to their jerseys now.
Yeah, Fullerton looks like she's ready to come on. We'll keep you informed of any other changes happening on both sides as well. So 3 points the difference here in set number 4. Northumbria leading by 2 sets to 1 in this Women's Cup final. Keep those messages coming in on social media. Use the hashtag CupFinals18 at Volleyball England or at VBall England on Twitter. This is being live on Facebook as well. Thank you very much for everybody that's joining us on here. So Leah Best, big 2-metre from Team Northumbria, serving high to the left-hand side, but this time goes across the angle, drifts that ball wide on the left-hand side. Captain and coach now, Felix serving. Shows deep to 6 to the libero. Gets that reverse attack through Cash, gets off the block, but not quick enough there by Culpepper to get the hands off the block. Ball just drops in the middle of the court. Couldn't get the height and elevation on it for any of the team members to pick the ball up. 3 points of difference now, 9-6. Whitney being dragged to the 3-metre line to get that set out. Bond does really well to attack it hard, as does Tokarenko. Free ball now coming in. Vlasic has options. Cash is going to run the reverse. She goes down the pipe option. Sternard took it, let's step to the left-hand side. Then move to the right. It looked like the attack had seen it. Tokarenko had seen it to try and force that shot across to 1, but got too much on it. This time Cash goes on that reverse slide. Bond stuck on the net there. And it comes through the hands of Culpepper. You can hear the scream from up here in the gantry. She knew the mistake she'd made there. So ready for that hard hit, but couldn't quite control the softness of the ball this time.
Probably the easiest ball she'll get to her all day. It's just one of those moments. I don't know if it might have been a sweaty hand or a sweaty ball, but it does happen.
Absolutely. It's a funny old game. A let called there as the ball again in the 3-ball system being rolled down. Cisco getting away with that serve down the left-hand side again. It was a shank pass. Good pressure, and then Imri then taking on that pass. The ball is stripped long, out wide, just giving in. I think Durham will be happy with that let to win that point as well. It was a good pressure serve. Tight angle out wide on 2. Vlasic finds the hands of Cash. Cash goes straight into the block. So holding herself in cross court there, seeing Cash turning in. The ball was never going to go line shot there. 1 point in it now, Beth. 9-10.
It's getting closer. It seems Durham seem to have a bit more team morale about them at the moment, and Northumbria seem and act like they're on the back foot, but they're not. But that attack will definitely help their cause.
As long as that ball comes in, they've got that distribution. Keep those options open, whether it's that reverse or keep it in front. Cash also starting to work the ball left and right as well. Good blocking by Vlasic there on Cisco. Leah Best running that reverse. Vlasic over on 2. Cisco off the net. Tight cut shot. A lot of beach experience from Sophie as well using that shot. Now backcourt setter Whitney comes in. It's a backcourt attack in Bond. She's not had many in this game. She's been hitting well in the previous sets. But that one was just too low at the net.
Haven't seen many backcourt attacks from Durham. It tends to be Northumbria that's favoured them at the moment. They have sort of been 50-50% successful to error rate, I would think, at the moment.
Flat serve there by Cash. There's a lovely block.
Brilliant block.
By Tokarenko. I was about to say it was a lovely set, which it was a lovely set. Tokarenko's hands were just all over that. Culpepper had nowhere else to go. That was never going to be anything but a shutout block. Major block by Tokarenko. Whitney again going to 2 option. Culpepper, this again, we talked about trying to get that ball down the line. She knows she can't get through that block, so she's got to utilise the hands. She's tried that, but getting the ball on the outside of her hand, forcing it out.
Just over-rotated her hand a bit too much, but like you said, there's nowhere to go cross-court, and it's really sort of forcing it there. Probably go for a tip or maybe a long tip into the corner, but again, it's easy to say from up here, but when you're down there and you're thinking about it in your face of it, it's not as easy to think.
So 5 points here. Team Durham down by 5 in the 4th set and by 2 sets to 1. Will Team Northumbria turn the screw now and apply more pressure? Can Durham get themselves back? We're about to find that out now, back on court, as they come back in from the timeout called by Team Durham.
Northumbria are very good at, as soon as the pressure's on, they do keep their foot on your throat and they give absolutely nothing back when they've got a lead. That's why it's so difficult to come back against Northumbria or even beat Northumbria if you're one of anyone sort of but Bologna or Durham at the moment.
Got to be a backcourt option. Got to be Bond going across to 1. Second by the cherry here, and it is Bond tight. Has to keep that ball in. Wasn't sure if it was going wide. But then Tokarenko already on +8 in the 3rd set from that 4 position. Hasn't had many attacks in set number 4, but certainly puts that ball away. 6 points the gap now, 15-9. Sam Cash on the service line. Bologna Supporters Club just up on the gantry now, starting to display their flags. You'll hear them very shortly in this men's game. Lovely work by Starnard, facing the 5 position. Churn those shoulders around the ball there. Finds the corner. Really important point to keep that gap within 5 now. 10-15.
Don't think we've seen a middle actually hit the way they've been facing yet this match. If they face one way, they hit the other.
Tokarenko with a power out wide. Picked up by Cisco. Again, Felix going to the left-hand side to start with. Has to adjust to go back to the right. Leaves that gap open. Tokarenko is going to kill that all day long. Technical timeout. 6 points of difference here in set number 4 of this Women's Cup final. It is 16-10.
Leading 2 sets to 1 and leading in the court 16-10, 9 points away from taking this year's trophy.
So Volleyball England branded across the net here as we wait for these 2 teams to come back on. As I mentioned, over 50 teams taking part in the cup competition, and it is the top 2 seeds in Volleyball England that are fighting it out here. Advantage is to team at Northumbria, but we know Durham will not lie down. They will fight hard all the way through this. A couple of points needed now, early doors after this technical timeout. Captain Vlasic to serve. Lovely pass in, lovely one-handed set. But Whitney was over the net when she played that ball. As a backcourt setter, she needs to stay on her side. So it was a nice set, but her arm was reaching over the net there. So that was a big point now. The gap is now 7 points. Still no changes made for Team Northumbria, other than the serving one for Leah Best. Culpepper, without a clean hit, finds the line, closing that gap down. Air Cadets doing a great job as our volunteers here, supporting both courts. They'll be here tomorrow as well. We have the under-16s, under-18s competition going back to back on this 2-court arena here at the National Volleyball Centre. Off the hands of Claire Felix. Beth, you mentioned about turning those hands in. Claire Felix was reaching across, almost facing her outer court, which was blocking, so the ball's always going to head that way. Yeah,
she sort of had, I think, half a step more, and she would have been able to get her body round, but she was caught late. It was a fast set, and yeah, she was moving in the wrong direction, sort of facing out of court, and that's where the ball went.
Imi now being forced to go on the backcourt attack. This time Bond gets a big swing across. Northumbria's options. Reiswig being very quiet in this 4th set. The big number 9, the big outside for Northumbria, not had many kills. The timeout called here with the score now 18-11. Is that gap too much for Team Durham to fight their way back in? A few errors starting to creep in to the Team Durham attacks now, and the pressure on the serve receive. We mentioned a few times how that's helped generate those 3 options attacks for Whitney as well. Middle not being used. Claire a bit quieter in this set as well.
Yeah, they all seem to be a bit quieter at the moment. We haven't really seen many attacks that have gone Durham's way. I mean, Sophie Sisko there, she was one-on-one and put the ball out at the back of the court. I don't know if it's a bit of nerves coming in or what it is, but the Durham attack just doesn't seem to be as aggressive at the moment. It seems to be a bit more conservative.
Lovely insight there by Beth Gunter. Tokarenko serving then, 19-11. Good timeout. As a coach, you'll always take that. If you can get that first point, especially force that serve. So Claire Felix at the net with Bon. Whitney Wild front court as well. So 2 main attackers now for Team Durham. Can they get that defence right? Can Claire start to get those hands over on that block again? No need with an ace serve from Sisko. 3rd one of the game so far for her.
So a good service match this time round. Not many out, but she has put the pressure on. I think sort of most times she's gone back.
Out wide. Asteritza taking that block off on Bon. So Annie Ricewick slightly quieter in this set. Substitution. Kyla Bastian's going to come on for Leah Best. So Kyla now on to serve. As you mentioned, never easy to come on in a serving position when you've been off cold for 4 sets, but they've been keeping warm. That's what Team Northumbria and the subs do in that corner as well, keep themselves nice and warm. Bastian comes off, a smile on the face of Goodchild. I'm sure if you didn't have a 6-point lead in the 4th set, being 2-1 up, the smile might not quite be so strong with him. It is now Captain Claire Felix back to serve them. Quick attack taken out the ball. So Annie Ricewick now getting a couple of attacks in a row out wide. Bond goes down the line. Ricewick forcing the pressure on the deep 6, then quick attack by Stennard. Tokarenko, hope that hand up, just lands in. Just clipping the line. 21-14, 4 points required for the cup here. Astrista there, the float serve going out wide to Bruno Bon, the Brazilian. Quick defense, Yuri Vlasic having to play that ball over on the third touch. Couple of deflections. Whitney Wild drops that shoulder, that right hand shoulder. She turns in, really disguising that second ball well. No pancakes this time.
No, there was an attempted pancake.
Whitney back to serve. Cash on that slide attack, off the hands and out of play. Not necessarily going for the kill again, as we talked about, using the hands going off. 22-15. Lovely swing by Bruno Bon. The Brazilian, again, letting that ball drift a little bit along her arm, able to go down that line, coming inside on the libero. All they could do was shank that pass. 22-16. Pressure serve now by Bon from Team Durham. But what an angle there by the Russian. She swings that arm, Tokarenko. She's been one of the big kill attacks for Team Northumbria. Leah Best comes back on. 23-16. Sam Cash now. Team Durham just requiring 2 points for the cup. Whitney Wild with a lovely on her knees reverse set out wide. Culpepper using that angle across her body then, taking that ball. 17-23. Sorry, Joe Sternard to serve then. Leah Best going down the reverse slide, tips the ball. Cisco gets one arm over onto it. Oh, the block by Culpepper. Tokarenko waited to look. You could see her looking to see could go down that line. Culpepper's big right hand turn inside, forcing that down.
Wasn't much room for her to go anywhere with that one.
Quick play here by Durham, gets attacked by Felix, much needed. Can Durham get this point now? It's a flat reverse set. Oh, the libero reading that ball a little bit late, not getting the power on it. Thomas, what's happening down the floor? Those that know anything about Cup Finals weekend here at Volleyball England know the timings are just a rough guideline.
I think that's with any tournament, really.
We like 5 sets, don't we?
We love them here.
Cup Finals weekend is always about the 5-setters. Will we see a 5-setter? Here's the question. 2 points required for the team in red, white and black. Team Northumbria looking for the treble. They'd like the Super 8s, the Cup Final and the Bucks competition this year. A clean sweep in volleyball terms for Dave Goodchild was his target at the start of the season as well. A free net for Astrita. Felix again, that ball too low for her to get any kind of arm over the ball, so holding that ball down, the only thing it can do is go flat across. Match point, Beth. 24-19. It is the setter and captain serving. Northumbria bench rocking in time. Whitney Wild down again on her knees. It's a lovely swing by Culpepper. Second bite of the cherry here. Can Team Durham save match point? They go down the centre to Felix, and they can off their hands. Leah Best holding the shape there, not going cross, taking the block out there, just holding the shape there, and Claire Felix able to use her hands there. So 1 match point saved. Vlasic out wide. Whitney, luckily not to be called for a double contact there. But the hit goes long. Ladies and gentlemen, 25-20, and by 3 sets to 1, the 2018 Volleyball Cup winners, they are Team Northumbria. So 26-24, 25-18, 25-20, 25-20 there. Beth, sum up that game.
I think Durham did a lot better than the scoreline possibly reflects. They came out very well at the start of the match, but they sort of seemed to drop off, especially in that fourth set. There wasn't really like the spark to them which we'd seen in the last 3 sets, but Northumbria were very good at sort of hammering a team down and being able to sort of take a spark away. Team Northumbria for the last few years have had an answer for everything and anything that gets thrown at them, and they're just so attuned to the custom to detail and attention to everything. They're just the most disciplined team, and that's just hammered in from Dave as soon as they start together. Probably pre-season in August they play, like you said, university together, club together. They're together all the time, and they're a very tough team and programme to beat.
It has really been a showcase event here, as we mentioned before. There's 5 Brits there, but we've got players from Croatia, Russia, we got Brazilians, we've got Americans all over there, and these again are raising the profile of volleyball in not just in England but in the UK across the board here. We've seen the English flags and the Scottish flags being waved high down at the Gold Coast on the beach volleyball, but also indoors they are starting to set the standard. It's helping us raise our game for the indoor season coming up, but also for our junior teams that are starting to make their way to the senior progression levels here under the tuition of our top coaches we've got in the UK. But it's great for them to start to play against top level contact like Claire Felix and teams like that as well.
Yeah, I mean, especially now that I think the Super 8s is probably going to 10 teams this season as well, that is really, you have more matches, you get to play more, because 8 teams in the top league really isn't that much. You play 14 matches in the season. So playing more matches, and even like the lower leagues now, like we just had someone from the London Premier League come runners up in the Shield in a 5-set thriller against the almost champions of Division 1.
Well, the London League level is a very high level as well, isn't it? Both the men's and women's competition. It's almost the Division 2, Division 1 standing National League as well. But there's a good population down in London that are playing a high level of games that are being done as well. They're very well organised as well. And it's again great with these guys we're seeing here coming in. And we might be saying goodbye to some of these players who aren't here. They're only here for a year or 2 years. If that's the case, it's been a great pleasure to watch them and to have them elite. And no doubt Durham will recruit next season. No doubt Team Northumbria will recruit next season, as will the rest of the teams competing into the Cup and the top levels of volleyball here. And they're all starting to put pressure on the other teams here to showcase what is volleyball all about. The profile we've got of some of our players abroad in the women's game as well. So think about Iowa State with Grace Lazard. Yeah, we've got some of the lads over there playing. So the 2 pools and stuff. So our name of
Joel Roberts.
Yeah, Joel Roberts as well, Mount Olive. We've got 2, the same one there. It's great to have those names now being likened with Volleyball England playing international as well.
I even tuned in to BBC One the other day, and it was Chris and Jake over at the Commonwealth Games, and they've done absolutely fantastically over there.
So give or take whatever's happening behind the scenes, it is great. When it comes to the matter here, when the ball's in play, we are seeing some top-level volleyball, and at a high level, it's really starting to impress exactly what's happening and how we perform as clubs ourselves on lower-level national leagues, to London leagues, to local leagues as well, to drive the numbers of participation. The next game is going to be just as good when we have IBB Bologna London, who are another style. They're not just about getting scholars in, they're all about getting other players in, but also building a club ethic around them, or driving stuff. They've got games that are being shown live on TV as well, which is brilliant.
I can see the drums moving in already for that one. But we also have a big shout out here for a great job for Marie Kate, playing at your highest level position. You have played for only 3 weeks in your entire career. I'm so proud of you, Dad, and Mum too. Love you. Great job, Team Durham. Very proud of all 8 girls that are all Team Durham.
So just getting ready for the presentation. The boys are warming up on the previous course. Girls, just going through the stretch. I'm going to hand now over to our man on the mic. Here's Thomas.
Intrigue all the way through, but a very deserved win in the end for Team Northumbria. Still only the one defeat this year in all competitions, which is amazing. Not even Manchester City and all the bullets they've had this year can do anything like that. And they went down one set here. That's still only their 7th set they have conceded throughout the season. What an unbelievable run they have had. Now we're going to have the presentations very shortly, and after that we're going to get the coach and captain up from Northumbria just to have a little bit of a chat and see how that all goes. And we've got another exciting game coming on later on. Now, as you might have heard during the commentary, because everything has been pushed back a little bit, because those games earlier on went on all the way to the 5th set in the case of the Women's Shield, it meant that the start of this Women's Cup game was a little bit delayed, and then the Men's Cup has been delayed as well. Because of the 2-court layout here, it means that the teams for the Men's Cup have been able to warm up and get themselves ready. So it'll be a very quick turnaround, which is great because it means that we can bring you as much live action as possible right here on Volleyball England. But what a game we've seen. Unbelievable. It's been really interesting trying to watch it and see what's going on the benches as well. Very laid-back approaches from both coaches to really see how things are going. But we'll get more of that later on when we speak to the coach. But for now, we'll hand back over to our commentary team to go through the presentations.
Here we go then with the presentation party. We've got Rob Hayes on the mic as our stadium MC.
We'll return to a couple of our annual awards presentations. And first of all, please welcome to present the next two awards, Legal Director of Volleyball England, Claire Francis.
So the presentations for the Women's Cup Final. So Sophie Sitsko winning Young Volunteer of the Year. Sophie's been an incredible ambassador for volleyball throughout her 4 years at Durham University. Amongst a long list of achievements and services described, nothing short of exemplary. Sophie's been instrumental in building community links within volleyball, particularly an annual 6-week PE block at a local primary school, which is really hard to get hold of. So this is increasing also the number of BUCS teams at Durham, ensuring that the university are promoting inclusion of volleyball facilities within the areas of volleyball. Sophie's contribution to volleyball at Durham has been exceptional. A very good ambassador of volleyball all the way through. Also presenting the awards here. It's just been given for Club of the Year, which is York Volleyball Club. They've got over 100 regular members there up in York, playing at competitive league levels, allowing teams to take part, underpinning the teams to make it every different. They've got committed 15 people volunteering their week, time in, time out, on coaching, managing teams, in refereeing and scoring. So Club of the Year, York Volleyball Club will be presenting the awards.
First of all, let's hear it for our runners-up this year, Team Durham.
So Team Durham just being introduced now to collect their medals.
Before that, of course, we need to get our referees' medals. So, please let's hear it for Christian Genitrini and Martina Curtis.
So Christian and Martina just stepping forward to receive their refereeing medals.
And now we can present the medals for our runners-up. Let's hear it once again for Team Durham.
Team Durham will now be presented their medals. First of all will be captain and coach Claire Felix, and then they'll work through their teams. So if you are here with us live on Facebook as well, do join us, hashtag Cup Finals 18 as these medals go the way down. We know we've got people all the way in America watching here with these teams. Luann Imrie did a great job, Mary Kate, at the highest level. So Mum and Dad are very proud of you. As you know, we've got lots of people watching all around the world here. Bruna Von, the Brazilian, and under 17 and under 19, a very experienced player. And then Sternard in the middle, really having some challenges on the blocks. But both middles, Claire Felix and Sternard, really put pressure on Team Northumbria. Team Northumbria had to work hard for every single point.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, your cup winners 2018. Let's hear it for Team Northumbria.
So champions last year, now champions in the cup competition 2018. Yuri Vlasic, the captain and setter. Who's the starting libero? Blair just getting a couple of serve-receive games in. Courtney Brand, the second libero, didn't get court time today, but as Beth was saying earlier, it's a full squad engagement here, and they all need to be involved with what's happening along the game. Again, Tokarenko, one of the biggest hitters in that game, the big width that she brought out on the four-player. Astorita there, forming cover for Yuri Vlasic as opposite, but also giving those big opposite shots. Cash with the white headband on, always caused trouble everywhere she went down the centre. Leah Best almost standing heads and shoulders above the rest of the team. 2 meters 1. And as Thomas and Beth are talking about, it's the coaching staff behind the scenes here. These guys put hours of work in preparing their teams. We won't see all of them, we'll just see 4 of them at the minute. We've got Paul Welsh, Dave Goodchild, Will Short, Ross Enfield, who does all the stats. You can sometimes see him on the videos at the end. Sits in the desk, but there's all the guys behind the scenes as well. So Beth, MVP, who do you think it's going to be? I think Tokarenko possibly, or Vlasic. There's a tension in the room now. It was either going to be one of the two. And with the biggest stats kills she's had there, the pressure she had, especially that fourth set, she really started to open her arm up as well. Yuri Vlasic will now receive the trophy from York Volleyball Club, take it back to a team. Here is the lift. They are your champions here, 2018. Team Northumbria, well deserved a 3-1 victory. 24-26, 25-18, 25-20, 25-20. Team Northumbria take the title in a close fought match. We've highlighted the excellence of all these players on both sides and the standard that they are starting to set when it comes to volleyball here in England and in the UK. Smiles all round. They've done the books. They've now done the cup competition, the Volleyball England League. Will they take the Super 8s? We'll find that out. First weekend in May, they're going to be competing here in a 2-game battle. Can they do the treble? Beth, thoughts on the game?
I thought it was a brilliant showcase for volleyball for this year especially, and like you said, we had 5 different nationalities broadcast here tonight. we've seen from the Sheffield programme they were full of the British girls, and the British girls are really coming through into sort of like the top teams, to the Shield finals and the Sheffield programme, and into these ones. So we saw Sophie Tisco, who's been at Durham for 3 years now, and it's her 4th year, and she's now starting 6th, and she hadn't really had that much playing time until this year. I mean, you've got Paige Fullerton, who's got numerous England caps over on the Northumbria bench as well, but whenever she comes on, she completely changes the game, and I think today there just wasn't really the scope for many substitutions, because normally Northumbria do have quite a lot of subs, but they've got such a strong team again this year that it is hard for everyone to get full time.
How important do you think it is for the juniors watching this, people watching at home, and also those that are coming here who have played either early on, as you mentioned about the Sheffield team earlier on, but also those watching online and supporting here, to see this level and the elite level that they can get up to?
Immensely important. I think I've seen quite a few of the Tameside girls who will be playing tomorrow. I've seen them sort of milling around in the crowd, and the girls from earlier on in the Shield match, they've stuck around as well. And it's so important to see sort of the level you can play at for things, and it's not just volleyball that they're really pushing women's sport in at the moment as well. I mean, it's netball, they've pushed a lot of that in England at the moment, and then they've won in a final second battle to get into the final of the Gold Coast. So women's sport in general is taken off, and that's just a showcase.
Absolutely, and tomorrow we're going to see Tameside, Richmond. We've also got ABC Greenhouse and Richmond in the men's competition, so there's a lot of juniors coming through, not necessarily just always well-established clubs. There's some of the newer clubs that are starting to come through as well. Richmond's starting to develop a good base of juniors coming through to this game as well, and then the old school like Tameside, etc., with the experience that comes through going from school to universities to really drive that forward as well, which is really, really beneficial to the sport.
I mean, Richmond are in all 4 finals tomorrow, which is something that it's obvious to be your Wessex, Tameside that used to do, and Wessex have sort of not dropped off, and we've still got a very good junior programme down there, but junior programmes in general are getting a lot better. We've got a better Croydon team, the Beach Academy down there, Richmond, Tameside's always got a good team as well, but now it's a lot more contested in juniors, and you're seeing different teams coming through to the finals.
And seeing showcase events like this. So let's hand over to Thomas, who has the winning coach and captain from Team Northumbria. Thomas, take it away.
Wonderful, thank you very much, guys. Well, you've hot-footed it up here from that ceremony. Congratulations, well done. What a fantastic game that was to watch. What was it like to be part of that?
It was amazing. It was a real team effort, teamwork, including coaches and every single player from the bench to the girls on the court. We fought, they challenged us in the first set, but we found a way, so definitely huge good job.
David, it's been an incredible campaign all the way through, not just here in the Cup, but also in the league. One defeat, well, yeah, I mean, it's fairly special, isn't it?
It is, and it's credit to the girls, and like you said, the support staff that I have as well, and the whole university. Plus the girls that we stamped today, we're one big team, and we have a culture that's second to none, and an environment to learn. And that's what we provide, and you can see the development of the young players, getting involved by the senior players, and we want to go to the next level and win everything. That's our aim.
Fantastic, what a great aim to have. Now, you've just picked up that trophy. I popped it down just behind us, actually. What was that like, picking that up, holding that up, celebrating with the team?
It just shows all the hard work we've done for the last 8 months. We're definitely building, and it's just a reward to show us how much.
Excellent stuff. And Team Durham put in a great performance as well. Gave you a lot of competition. They've been good all year, but they gave you a bit of a run today.
They did, and credit to them. They came out, they went for the rear game, they were really aggressive in offence, they served tougher. I mean, really stepped up the notch. That's what we managed that. We know from the start, we know we had a good chance of winning it. And we did, we ran the game down, we see it, as we saw you leave at the end, but just get up and start. So yeah, all round performance, it's played well. They played as good as they played. So we're happy with the challenge. We refocused now to our semi-finals in the league.
Well, we'll wait and see. And you've got the men's team coming up now as well in the final. I mean, is there anything that you guys can't do?
Well, the guys are missing the first setter, so it's definitely going to be a big challenge for you guys. But I believe in them, and I believe that we're going to show us.
Fantastic. Yeah, we look forward to seeing that. Well, we'll let you go and celebrate with the team. Congratulations once again, and we'll see how everything goes with the league. Well done, guys. Thanks very much. Wow, what a performance they've put in. What a year they've had. It's been unbelievable. We'll see if they can go any further. But for today, wow, winning the cup, I think they'll take that. It's not long to go now until the men's cup final starts. That's going to be between Bologna and between Northumbria men this time as well. That promises to be a great game, a little bit later than advertised, but as we were saying in commentary, it's more of a guideline here on finals weekend. Be sure to come back and join us then.